All right, well, welcome back to the iWealth podcast, and today we're talking about my good friend that whatever he said, his word was the end-all, be-all. If he said he was going to be there at 9 o'clock, he'd be there at 9 o'clock, and he'd never make a contract for anything, he'd never sign his name, but his word was as good as gold, and he kind of stood behind it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I love that. I was 2 minutes late today, so that's not good. I have a really good reason, but we can all have excuses. You know, I think when you make a promise, you need to keep it. And where my head goes back to is sports.
Yep.
There's no way my dad would have let me quit a sport. I'm not saying if you quit a sport, anything's wrong with that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying your word was your bond, and if you said you're going to go out for football, you're going to go out for football or wrestling or whatever that sport is. And so, you know, I've had the same conversations with my kids, Matt. I don't know about you and your, and Grace, but when you say you're going to do something, you need to do it. And I've had conversations with my kids when have you ever had something better come up? You got dinner plans tonight at 5 with friends. And then all of a sudden something better comes up, like, hey, we can go to this movie that just came out with a different set of friends or family or vice versa. You can't change it, can you? I mean, what do you think?
I think your word is your bond. And I like how my old friend would do it, where whatever he said, that's what he did. And there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the dude was trustworthy to a T, and everyone knew that. And he always had good, positive things that were happening in his world. Yeah. And it was fun to see how that played out, because I really don't know that many people that it was to that level, you know? Yeah. And so, if something does come up with your friends, I kind of agree with you that you're like, nope, we already committed to this. And sometimes God's got a good purpose for that too. Yeah. That's where you were supposed to be, and that's why you gave your word on that. And there's maybe something else at play that you don't always know about.
Dan Sullivan said this. I wrote this down a couple of meetings ago at Strategic Coach. He said, fear of missing out, FOMO, is a disease. And he's not wrong. I mean, when you think about it, there's so many people that have fear of missing out that they overpromise, and underdeliver because they're going to be here and then they're going to be there and things like that. Like, my kids also know the truth will set you free. I believe it's the best Bible verse I think that's out there. And so that goes along with promise. If I said I'm going to be here and I'm going to be your friend and I'm going to take care of things, then I need to keep my promise. Especially when you watch like Yellowstone, right? When you start to think about your promise and your brand and your bond and all that other stuff.
And old cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, how are you at keeping promises? Maybe put that in the comments below. And we'll see you back here on the iWealth podcast next time.
Thanks, Matt.